Hello and welcome back to another episode of Himatsubushi. Last time was pretty exciting. I mean, I think it's building up to something. I'm not sure what will happen, but we had Oishi and Akasaka driving through, and they finally got to see what the damn protests were like with Hinamizawans using almost sound torture to ruin their hearings and doing a pretty cool loophole. I mean, cool, it's a cool idea. Maybe not cool for those people whose ears are getting destroyed, but that was interesting. I also saw Mini Rita being a little spooky, basically saying that we've ignored her warnings, so something bad's going to happen. But like we know, at least Akasaka isn't going to die this chapter, because this is again a flashback or a retelling of the past. So, and we know Oishi shouldn't die here. So I don't know what something bad's going to happen. I believe the grandchild shouldn't die either, but we'll see for that. And also, grandchild is acting sick and his plan is working as Irie came over, so we have to see how that plays out too. So I think at the end I did say this, we're gonna start at the Sonozaki mansion, but this isn't it. I mean, this is the abandoned town, so we can see what it looks like. That'll be exciting, and let's just get right into this. I'm interested to see where this is going. If you were to call Hinamizawa a rather lonely village, then Takatsudo was outright desolate. For your everyday city boy like me, I just couldn't understand why anybody would force themselves to live here. There were signs that people had, but they were all covered in dust or enveloped in ivy, indicating that it was all abandoned. I just had a mental brain fart, and I thought ivy was ivory. I'm like, why is this village pimped out? But no, ivy's the plant. My grandmother has them growing on her house walls.
こんなところにも人は住んでいたんですね。
まあ、昔の話でしょうな。こんな偏僻なとこじゃ年寄りには辛いですし、若者だってもう少しまともな土地に住みたいでしょうしね。後を継ぐ者がいなきゃ最後にはこうなるってことでしょうな。
Even if I had no personal attachment to the village, seeing the disused buildings made me feel a little sentimental. Also, this might be the image they used for the Sonozakis, but I was told that that they do reuse images sometimes. But I still think it should be a mental note of that. It does look similar. Ooh, she felt the same way.
こんなところで財布が発見されたんですか。財布の取得者もよくこんなに偏僻なところに。
Yeah, I was about to say that. Well, when he said the first sentence, why would somebody be out here and finding the wallet?
村人には山の中に畑を持ってる連中がいましてね。そういう連中は朝晩ここを通りますから。
畑仕事の村人たちは早朝や夕方にここを徒歩で通ると。
まさか。行けるところまでは車で行くでしょうな。
早朝や夕方にこんなところを走行して落ちているたった一つの財布を発見できます。
できたんでしょうな。
Does sound very convenient.
取得者はどこで取得したと言っていますか。
もう少し先を行ったところにある茂みです。取得者はたまたまお腹が痛くなってちょいと茂みで用を足そうと思ったらしい。
I mean, even though it sounds convenient, it should definitely happen.
それで偶然見つけたらしい。
No denying that.
中にちり紙でも入ってるのを期待したんですかね。
話ができすぎているように感じます。
I think it's normal, at least especially for a detective to have these sirens going off.
財布発見の当初からそういう違和感が拭えません。
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's perfect evidence to... So what are the... I mean, the only options are that it's a trap or they actually made that mistake. But what if it... Is there anything else? What if it's like a trap but not by the Sonozaki group? And then maybe the Sonozakis are just harboring it. It could be the outsider group. Or what if this is like a... No, that doesn't make... I was trying to say, what if Oishi did it so they can arrest the Sonozaki group faster if they actually catch them in the act of holding the child? But why would he have the wallet? It doesn't make sense unless you go really out there and say he's connected to the outsider group. But that's way too much speculation. But yeah, it definitely could be a trap, but it's still, the fact that it is his wallet is still worth enough to go into or investigate, especially if you do have backup coming. There's no point not to. It would seem pretty bad if you didn't. I expressed the feeling that I had from the start of the day quite frankly. It seemed too good to be true, but it was unwavering proof. But it was too perfect. Sickeningly so. I mean, me and Akasaka are in the same wavelength. It's always good to see that. That was my feeling.
出来すぎってな、案外当たってるかもしれませんよ。
というと、
実は四課のお友達からちょいと聞いたんですがね。園崎お涼が大臣の孫の誘拐事件について言及したって話なんです。
言及した？
大臣の孫ももう誘拐されてから何日にもなってかわいそうだ。そろそろ解放されるといいなと。そう、お涼のばあさんが縁側でぼそりとつぶやいたってな話らしいんです。で、そのぼそりが園崎家の裏の裏のあちこちに伝えられてるようです。
But the kidnappers don't know that, at least. Right. I had heard something earlier from Sato-san, the informant, that when the leader or you had a concern, somebody in the family would be considerate.
つまり、それは実質上の人質解放命令ですか？
私はそう見てます。この出来すぎの財布発見は孫を警察に引き渡すためのイベントじゃないかと。
See, I don't like that though. That definitely just puts suspicion on the defense force. Wouldn't a better way is just to like not even like just release him in a town or somewhere closer to Tokyo, like out in the wild, and like so someone would find him or something? Like, isn't this just a bad idea to hint that he's right next to Hinamizawa village? Like, who else is gonna be the culprit? But I guess again, because the Sonozakis won't actually be taking responsibility for it since they didn't technically order it. But still, I mean, it's probably just better just to release him discreetly. I don't know.
どうして人質の解放を？
そりゃ人質を解放するなんて理由は一つしかないじゃないですか。
なんです？
取引の成立ですよ。
But we know that's not true, at least from the hint either. Though this was... No, they didn't reach the deal because they killed... Because the reason the dam stop was the foreman. But I mean, this isn't... I mean, I know we're just saying we know it's not the case, but I mean, it's definitely good speculating from Oishi.
ひなみ沢ダム計画の中止を大臣が約束ってことですかね。
ダム計画なんて必ずなくなっちゃいますのです。
What if this is going back to this? I'm sorry I'm stopping so much, but it's okay. I mean, I'm fine with it. What if, like, we go back to the script and stuff? What is this is what was supposed to happen in the script, but for some reason the damn project still went anyways, and that's why a murder occurred. The curse murder, anyways, or is that what I called it? Yeah, the curse murder happened. Food for thought. At that moment, those words that the girl had said resurfaced in the back of my mind. In the end, it was turning out exactly as she proclaimed. The young girl knew the circumstances. That's all she said, right? That it would just go away. It's just kind of a broad thing. It's not like she predicted everything. Or she could have, but I don't know how you get it from just that sentence. Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe she did. She probably did. Because Rika knows everything, apparently. Or at least, like I said before, it seems like she knows stuff she's not supposed to, but I don't know why he's getting this from. She knew everything about the kidnapping incident from the beginning to the end.
Akasaka?
The girl unexpectedly called my name.
なんだい？
東京へ帰れ。
Huh?
あなたはもう行くばくもしないうちにそれがあまりにもみすぼらしくて気の毒な姿だから
I didn't mean to cut you off, Rika.
今のうちから警告してあげているのです。
Oh, I just thought of something. What if it's not like something bad's gonna happen? What if it goes smoothly, but what if his like wife dies or something, or the child dies, and he wouldn't be there to see it or whatever? That could be something, because I don't know if anything bad's actually gonna happen here, because we know Owishi's gonna be fine, and we know Atasata's gonna be fine, and I'm assuming the grandchild's fine, unless they did say that he died in one of the past starts, but I really don't remember that, so it might be his wife or child. That would suck.
どうして私が後悔することになる？
いちいちうるさいな。あなたの親はあなたが赤信号の横断歩道の真ん中にいるときどうして危ないのかを全部説明し終えるまであなたの手を引っ張らないの？引っ張るでしょ。まず歩道まで連れ戻してからなぜ危険なのかを解くでしょう。つまりはそういうこと。
Well, yeah, I guess. But then they would explain why it was dangerous after they pulled you back. Yeah. The girl who knew everything from start to finish had warned me in the beginning, go back to Tokyo.
赤坂の小上がり。
孫は無事見つかるでしょうが、その後はいろいろと厄介な問題になるでしょうな。どう厄介になるかは一警察官の私には想像もつきませんがね。
古出リカって少女ご存知ですか？
When I said that name was such a non sequitur. When I had said what I had said was such a non sequitur that Oishi sat in stunned silence for a while.
もちろん知ってますよ。御三家の一つ、古出家の一人娘ですね。
どういう少女なんです？
おやおや、これは意外な人物名にちょっと驚きです。公安では古出家が臭いと睨んでおられるわけで、私にも情報を分けてくださいよ。
あ、いや、そういうのじゃないんです。ちょっと気になったもので。
まあいいや。同じ卓を囲んだ友人の質問なら答えないわけにはいきませんからね。
友人と呼んでいただけて光栄です。
で、あのお嬢ちゃんはね、まあ村のマスコットみたいなもんです。村中の誰からも愛されてます。 中でも年寄り連中には特に崇められてましてね。
崇められる？
よくは知らないんですがね、古出家に生まれた女の子ってのには多少神聖な意味合いがあるらしいんですよ。ひなみ沢の土着信仰ですがね、お社様の生まれ変わりだとかなんとか、そんな話があるらしいですよ。
お社様。そういえば同盟の登り旗の中にお社様と書かれたものがあったような気がします。何ですか、お社様って？
なあ、ひなみ沢の守り神様の名前です。村にあだなす者に罰を当てるって信じられてましてね。
Okay, some more Yashiro-sama taught. So Atasaka doesn't know about it, obviously. But we've had this taught at least once every art. So let's see if we get anything new.
まあ、そんな便利な神様がいたら、ダムの連中はとっくに神罰にやられているんでしょうが。幸い、今日までその罰ってやつは一つも起こってませんがね。
村にあだなす大臣の孫がお社様の怒りに触れ、なんて言いましたっけ？そう、鬼隠し。大臣の孫を鬼隠しにしたと、そういう筋書きになるわけでしょうか。
Yo, don't say the word script and not if you don't want to turn on my thinking bells. When did Atasaka learn about Onitatashi? I don't actually remember someone explaining that to him. Though, could have just been on a report. But he said script confirmed.
なるほどな。そういうことになるんでしょうな。
お社様が下した神罰なら、犯人はお社様の生まれ変わりであるあの少女。
I mean, it's honestly not that bad of a take, especially with bonus knowledge that I have from movie Neto. But in general, I mean, the fact that she knows stuff which she's not supposed to know, and she can't explain why she knows, is something interesting. You could say it is from non-Umi Neto stuff. Like, because you can't even say someone's just telling her that, because then she would know that she's getting that information from someone. I don't know. I'm sure I can think of a couple ways if I had to, but we'll leave that for now. That's not a bad take that she's Oyashiro, or the incarnation. But the fact that she dies in Watanabe is weird, and the fact that nothing happens when she dies to the village is weird too. There's a lot of iffy stuff you have to take account. Though, like I said in the theory video, if you watch that, I think that's more of an indication that she might not have died in Watanabe. Anyways, we talked about this. We'll talk about it more in the theory stuff. Even I didn't know exactly what I was saying. The fact that Oishi laughed it off was a bit of a relief. Oishi's joyous laughter was so infectious that I began to laugh like an idiot as well.
ありゃ、こりゃ珍しい。
Oishi. Sorry, I just had a flashback to someone saying that I pronounced his name wrong. Am I doing it right? I'm saying Oishi. I already forgot if I've changed the pronunciation or not. Is Oishi right? Oishi, after laying into the horn several times, rolled the window down and leaned out, waving his arm in an exaggerated manner. It was a car headed the opposite way. Until now, we hadn't run into any other cars except our own. And of all places, it was in this desolate location. This is probably the kidnapper's car. It seemed that Uishi knew the owner of the car. Oh, it's Irie's tire, maybe. The other tire also chirped its horn and came to a stop.
入江の先生
Okay, it was Irie.
こんにちは
The other car's window rolled down slowly, revealing a young man in a white overcoat. He was about my age, or perhaps a bit older. But you really can't judge somebody on their appearance.
大石さんじゃありませんか。こんにちは。珍しいところでお会いしますね。
そりゃこっちのセリフですよ先生まさかこんなところで会うとはねどうしたんです
いえね、ちょっとした往診です。
ありゃそうですか休館とかでしたか
いえ、そんなに大したことではありませんでした。よかったですよ。
お医者の世話にならずに済むならそれに越したことはないです
ではこれで急いで戻らないとスタッフに怒られますんで。
So they're not showing us the rest of the interaction yet. Maybe they will show it in a flashback or something. But that's fine. I wasn't expecting to get too much out of it.
診療所長さんも大変ですではではお気をつけて
The young doctor named Irie, after gesturing his farewell, drove forwards and soon disappeared around a corner. Oishi also drove forwards, but soon came to a stop again. He pulled out a worn map book from the dash. His expression didn't have an ounce of irreverence. He was perfectly serious.
どうしたんです？
今日は診療所は往診の日じゃないはずです よっぽどの休館か特殊な事情のある患者ということになりますね
Glad he told that, and also the fact that they're in an abandoned village also should be a warning sign. So I mean, hey, the grandchild's plan, maybe it didn't work with Irie, I'm guessing, might help anyways, since it might give a hint to the main squad. Oishi flipped through the pages, opening up the map of Tatatsudo. After that, he took a look around and started to figure out what our current location was.
その休館が怪しいということですか？
言ったでしょ高津戸地区にね住んでる人なんてほとんどいないんですよ、今私たちがいる道はここ入江先生はこの道に対して
I skipped it, my bad. Having no sense of our surroundings, I couldn't digest anything about the place he was indicating on the map.
私たちは財布の取得場所を目指していますちなみに取得場所はここでもね高津戸地区にわずかにある民家に向かうにはそもそも道が違うんです
つまり入江医師は民家のない方角から来たと。
山間の段々畑で農作業中に誰かが倒れたってのでない限りね人が倒れて医者が呼ばれたら普通は連れ帰って詳しく調べるもんですでもさっき理恵医師は大したことはなかったと言いましたね車には他には誰も乗っていなかったようですし
Oishi didn't say any more than that. I also said nothing more. The doctor just now examined a patient, close by, only that. The noisy radio had suddenly gone quiet. The sky had just as suddenly turned an oppressive color. As Oishi mused that it might start to rain, a torrential downpour started, as though not trying to disappoint him. Well, it always happens in dramatic fashion. Why not? Eventually, Oishi stopped the car. The only sound to break the silence were the percussion of the rain on the roof and the soft squeak of the windshield wipers.
ちょいと静か静かで行きましょうかね
Okay. Saying that in a quiet voice, he exited the car without an umbrella, careful not to make any noise. Oishi leaned over, indicating the other side of the thicket. He was pointing to a prefabricated shed and a car that was parked beside it. The car looked obviously well cared for. It wasn't a vehicle that had been left there for several years.
あの小屋は
営林署の機材小屋です。
We're in the shed. Okay, let's see how this happens. Hopefully
夏場
they're
以外
still
は利用
there.
されてないと聞きました。
あの車は営林署の職員の。
さあね。
Let's check it out.
公用車には見えないですね。
Oishi was playing it cool, but my nervousness was gradually increasing.
一応は念のため。
Saying that, Oishi returned to the car. I thought he was going to get an umbrella, but he grabbed the onboard radio instead.
もしもし、大石です。聞こえてるかな？こんにちは、こんにちは。ふんふん。
はい、沖宮 PS。大石さん、感度良好です。どうぞ。
今、高津戸地区の営林署機材小屋前です。矢後地に向かう方じゃないよ。南沢から高津戸に入る方の。
はい、確認しました。
小屋に不審者。これより職質します。5分で連絡なかったら駐在所に連絡と大至急応援パトを送ってください。よろしくお願いします。
了解しました。
じゃあ行ってみましょうかね。ふんふんふんふん。
Since he was first confined here, he had heard the sound of a car multiple times, so he just thought of the far-off sound was more of the same. However, the reactions from his captors was, until now, something he hadn't seen before. They jumped, reacting as if shocked by a jolt of electricity, and pressed against the window, cautiously peering outside.
止まったな。
Okay, so they are here.
営林署の人間。まずいぜ。いや、警察やんな。
One of the captors lifted the boy by his collar and pressed a blade against his cheek.
お兄ちゃん、ちょい静かにしててな。分かってると思うけど、大声出したりすると大変なことになるからな。
Toshiki Inudai was sure that the daughter had reported things to the police. He had felt relief when he thought that he was saved, but not imagining that his captors would resort to violence when they were cornered, his anxiety remained unabated.
どうする？時間稼いでる。小僧連れてちょい裏から抜けな。ほとぼり冷めたら打ち合おう。
One of the perpetrators grabbed the boy by the collar and forced him to stand. Of course, Toshiki Inudai tried to resist by feigning that his illness had been aggravated by the rough treatment, but his captors paid no heed. The door was violently banged upon.
ごめんください。こんにちは。
Bang, 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 bang. The door was banged on again. Toshiki Inudai hesitated for a moment to respond to that voice by yelling. However, while he was being indecisive, his mouth was covered, taking that option away from him. The leader of the captors waved at the other to go. The younger perpetrator nodded in response, and while keeping the boy's mouth covered, they started heading towards the back door.
はいはい。何かご用かいね。
どうも。警察ですがね。ここちょっと開けてもらっていいですか。急な雨で困っちゃいましてね。
ええ、今開けますん。
The moment the lock was undone, Oishi forced the door open, and with a gleam of menace in his eyes, he pushed the man aside as he stepped into the room. Then, in the small and empty room, he was able to quickly discern that the boy he was looking for was nowhere to be seen.
あれ？私はここは営林署の機材倉庫だって聞いてたんですけどね。何にもありませんね。
There was nothing inside the room that would indicate this was an equipment shed. There was only a mountain of blankets indicating that somebody was sleeping here, alongside empty food packets strewn about.
ああ、ここはずいぶん前から空っぽさね。機材がしまってあるところなんて見たこともね
でも営林署の建物でしょ。あんた営林署の人。
えわ。あんたこそ誰よ。警察？
The two of them glared at each other suspiciously. Both Oishi and the man steadfastly refused to reveal their identity before the other did. The man, judging from the sharp look in Oishi's eyes, realized that it would be hard to talk his way out of this one. No matter what he said, the most time he could buy would probably be only a few dozen seconds. Only the sound of the rain filled this tense moment. Just then, they heard a sound of a struggle from far out. I was gonna say, if they are doing this smartly, Akasaka would cover the back door. I mean, they probably scouted the building. Though I guess it would be hard with someone watching, but still. Good job. Good job, Akasaka. Take him down. Oishi had a hunch. There's no doubt that Akasaka, who was circling around back, had run into the perpetrators who were trying to slip away. Boom. As Oishi thought that, the man in front of him reacted a moment faster. Oh, I thought that was Oishi giving a punch. Never mind. The man swung with an attack that was more intended to obscure Oishi's vision rather than actually hit him in the face. Seizing his opportunity, the man aimed a kick at Oishi's groin without any hesitation. But he missed the mark and was unable to land that critical blow. I mean, smart thinking. Always go for the balls on a guy. It will definitely stun them, at least for a bit. The man trying to pin Oishi grabbed him by the base of his neck with both hands and fiercely tried to push him down. But as Oishi fell backwards, as if kicking the man upwards, he dug his foot into the man's midsection. With that leg acting as a fulcrum, the man was flung by the fallen Oishi as if by a circle throw. The two of them stared off in the pouring rain.
面白いじゃないの。俺とやろうってか。
Let's go. We're back to the top. You know, we had the fun match on time. We had the wholesomeness with Rika, but we're back to the Yakuza top movie. The final showdown. Uishi, as if trying to cheer himself on, grinned smugly. He then stood up while brushing the mud off himself. Even though he countered the assault, Oishi, who was getting up rather awkwardly compared to the man who he threw, who swiftly sprang to his feet. This guy is a lot younger, I believe. Or at least younger than the other guy. Akasaka's voice rang out from the distance. Judging from the distress in his voice, he was already engaged in a fight and wanted Oishi to reconvene with him. But Oishi's hands were full as well.
Akasaka-san! 申し訳ない。ちょっと待っててくださいよ。
The man raised both fists into a stance that hinted at him being acquainted with karate or some other form of martial arts. Of course, Oishi, as an officer of the law, was decently versed in judo. He also had the moxie to have been through his fair share of fights before. Because of that, he could tell that the man in front of him was quite a bit better at fighting than he was. Ah, damn it. Thinking that this was going to be easy just because the order came from the Sonozaki family to release the hostage had been a big mistake.
なかなか上等じゃないの。久々に胃液がこみ上げてくる感じがしますよ。
Oishi played off the situation like it was no sweat. His opponent, seeing his attitude, took that to mean that Oishi wasn't going to go down easily. The man widely charged forward, attempting to grab Oishi. If the man managed a successful clinch from his low stance, Oishi would be tackled to the ground and ended up being mounted. It was something you often saw when children fought, but it was a really bad position, since you couldn't do much once you were in it. Oishi, responding to that mood, move also lowered his stance to collide with the man head-on. The moment they clashed, Oishi grabbed the man's lapel. I don't know what a lapel is. As he yanked... Sorry. Is that like clothing or is it like a body part? It is clothing. I haven't heard of that body part. The part on each side of the coat or jacket immediately below the collar, which is folded. Oh yeah, of course, the lapel. I don't really wear suits, so it's been a while since a suit. So, quick refresher. As he yanked the lapel upwards, he smashed into the man's solar plexus with the elbow of the same arm. It was the move from Oishi's own personal brand of brawling judo. He then grabbed with his free hand and attempted to throw his opponent with both hands. But the man lowered his center of gravity and spun his arms in a large arc, entwining with them with Oishi's. Not only that, but he had forced both Oishi's elbows to the outside, and Oishi, now in an awkward position, was in danger of exposing his back, with his hand still clutching the man's chest. I mean, I'll be honest, I didn't expect a martial arts fight in Higurashi, but I'm not disappointed. Sounds very technical. I can envision it though. I understand. Imagine this animated though. Oishi going hard with judo. This guy practiced aikido or grappling, didn't he? Oishi, cursing the fact that his fingers were twisted in the man's shirt and couldn't get away, released his grip. But he was still in the awkward position of being bent over. And to top it off, at zero range, the man was able to read Oishi's movements completely as he tried to squirm his way into a better position. And then took the palm of his hands and swiftly clapped them over both Oishi's ears. Clapping the ears in any other martial arts except for self-defense was basically forgiven. Karate and judo didn't recognize it as a lethal technique. It was that much of a simple and dangerous attack. Oishi raised both of his hands as he tried to reflexively clutch at his own ears. But before that could happen, the man wrapped his arms around Oishi's neck. His thick biceps clenched firmly around the base of Oishi's neck like a vice. Oishi was instinctively thought he was going to be killed. After all, it wasn't hard to believe that a man like this, who was accustomed to fighting, could crush his opponent's neck from this position. More red? Yo-ho. Flashing red. It's always a bad sign. But his opponent didn't do that. He chose to keep his hold and forced Oishi to lose consciousness. That's why Oishi, at that moment, even though his face was twitching, was grinning widely. Even though his opponent had a chance to kill him, he didn't choose to. He was thinking, this guy has no intention of killing me. However, even though that might be the case, the man's hold on his neck was by no means gentle. In no time at all, Oishi's consciousness began to fade. Having the experience of being taken down countless times in judo during his student days, Oishi was utterly resigned to the fact that it was over. It's a cool visual. Now we got Akasato's fight. Yeah. Akasato was finally recovering from the dense pain of being kicked in a rather sensitive area. No, he got the groin shot. Unlucky. Having bumped into the captors carrying the boy by the back entrance, he had seen Toshiki Inugai's picture plenty of times, but wasn't able to immediately ascertain if the boy in front of him was the real deal, with his mouth covered in packing tape. Also, with his limited experience, it wasn't hard for him to panic over how to deal with the situation. Of course, the perpetrator didn't overlook this momentary lapse. His kick landed squarely in a critical spot, with Akasato not even having time to call for help. As the man flung the boy over his shoulder, he headed towards the front of the shed. But upon hearing Oishi's bellowing voice, he gave up going in that direction. He then dashed off towards the forest, as if the weight of the boy slung over his shoulder wasn't even there. Akasato was lost for a moment. Meeting up with Oishi, who was fighting with the enemy, was by far the safer option. But he couldn't just lose sight of the fleeing man. Give chase. Atasata stood up and chased after the captor's back. He ran through a short thicket, branches and fallen leaves crunching underfoot. The tips of the branches raked and clawed at him, small scratches inscribing themselves on his body, one after another. He kept on stepping into puddles and muds, and his shoes were soon filled with murky water. Hate it. Worst feeling with water in your shoes from puddles. For Atasata, traveling through this unexplored forest was, even though this was an emergency situation, extremely unpleasant. As he said that, he regretted it immediately, as it was but a waste of breath. There wasn't a thief in the world that would politely stop when told to by the police. To a city boy like Atasaka, running through this forest was an arduous task. However, it must have been no easy task either for the man carrying the minister's grandson. Is he another buff boy like the other accomplice? Though he's supposed to be the older one, right? So he might be struggling more than the younger one if the younger one was running here. He neither gained nor lost ground in his pursuit. Akasaka, upon realizing that, gained back a bit of composure, not composure. Quick sip of water. Intense scene, gotta freshen up the voice. Okay. I'm literally leaning back to gulp my water, but I'm pretty sure it can still be heard, so sorry about that. That's just a staple of the video series. You hear the train sometimes, you hear me gulp sometimes. Just keep on chasing them. We were running in the same conditions. In fact, the man was running with an awkward stride, was at far more of a disadvantage. They couldn't run forever. Eventually he'd definitely trip and fall. As long as he was being hounded, he would definitely stumble. And soon his wish was fulfilled. The man who stepped in something and lost his balance was no longer able to bear the weight of the boy, dropping him. Hopefully, I think Atasata's not get ganked after Oishi just choked out, but police are on the way, I believe, so that's good. Atasaka, in all honesty, didn't care about the perpetrator at all. Just as long as he could ensure the safety of Toshiki Inudai. So if the perpetrator ran off by himself, it was perfectly acceptable. But it seemed that Toshiki Inudai was important to the man as well and didn't choose to just run away empty-handed. Atasaka didn't know what to do in this kind of situation. His first priority should probably be to ensure the safety of the boy, subduing his captor being less important. Grappling with the perpetrator wasn't something he planned on, but most likely it was either do or die. Akasaka's moment of indecision proved to be fatal. Once again, another kick to the balls? Probably not. The man, aiming right between, or rather for both of Akasaka's eyes, struck out with a jab. Not wanting that, of course, not wanting that, Akasaka raised both of his hands to shield his face. At that moment, the man kicked at his unguarded midsection. I thought it would be pretty funny if he just kicked him in the balls again. The pain almost felt like his vital organs were being squeezed out of his body, but he latched onto his opponent's leg. But his opponent didn't hesitate one bit. Leading with his seized foot, the man jumped at Akasaka, applying pressure and pushing him down. Akasaka was unable to withstand that and fell, but under no circumstances was he letting that leg go. The two men fell together in a tangled heap. The man was desperate to pull his leg free from Akasaka, but having fallen in an awkward position, was unable to. The two of them rolled on the ground, floundering about trying to gain the advantage. But Akasaka, who was holding onto his opponent's knee with both hands, and that opponent who had complete freedom to move his upper body were in two completely different situations. The man gained a position advantage on Atasaka, who was still latched onto the man's leg and couldn't move anyway. He pounded full force on his head with both fists. Not only that, he found a rock nearby and beat it against Atasaka's skull. Oh no. Brutal. Thwack. The difference between being hit with a fist and being hit with a rock was vast. Atasaka quickly thought of letting go of the man's leg to free his hands to protect his head. But if he let go here, the man would get away. And of course, you get the gulping, you get the trains, and you get the burp. I don't know if you can hear that. Again, I'm trying to be a lot more discreet with it, but it's hard, dude. Maybe I should trigger figure the mute button. Anyways, back to the scene. Atasaka's getting his head beat out. He's holding onto the guy's leg, dragging him along. But if he lets go here, the man would get away. If he didn't dig in here, everything would be for naught. It's tenacity. Just don't break your skull or die. The boy he was trying to save was right there. He was trying to save him and go back to Tokyo. If he could do that, then goodbye to this freakish village. Bam, crack, thud. Without looking, I could tell my forehead had been split open and was gushing blood. But I didn't let go of the man's leg. How could I? I won't let go. When the man realized that no matter how much he beat my head, he wasn't getting away, he used both of his hands to grab my throat as if to crush my windpipe. I pulled my head back from this slight form of resistance, but it was of no use. The man's hands enveloped my neck and began to crush it like a vice. It was less about the pain of not being able to breathe, so much as it was choking so hard I felt like I was going to throw up. It felt like my stomach was going to turn itself inside out, but I could only endure it. Damn it, damn it, damn it. My throat hurts. I won't let go. I can't let go. I didn't want to be here. I wanted to resolve this and go back to Tokyo. Go back to Tokyo and talk to Yuki all about her unborn child. We were going to talk about our bright future. I had no intention of loosening my grip. However, it loosened just a bit and the man's leg came free. The man kicked as hard as possible and I tumbled backwards. My head was spinning and I was unable to get up right away. No, I couldn't even put any strength into getting up in the first place. Even so, I couldn't back down. If I let him escape now, this chance would never come again. Even just catching their scent was nothing short of a miracle. If we weren't able to get the minister's grandson back here, there wouldn't be another chance. The man tried to drag the boy to his feet, but the kid was displaying some unexpected resistance, allowing me to get up unnoticed. I grasped the rock that the man had just beat me over the head with. Now it's my turn. Thwack? The rock should be able to supplement what meter strength I had left, adding more than enough power to my attack. My fist, still wrapped around the rock, dug into the side of the man's torso. It seemed to hurt him quite a bit. The man rode around for a bit, clutching his side. Freed from the man's grip, the boy hid behind me. To the boy, those were the words he was waiting for the most. But the crisis was still not over. That was because even though he was still clutching at his side, the man had gotten up again and had taken a fighting stance. I could see in the man's eyes, the resentment at the pain I had caused him, and the confidence that he could still beat me. If we were able to clash head on, he might not even stop if my head were split open. The man reacted adversely to the words reinforcements. That was because he knew that arguing like this wasn't just a waste of time, but put him closer and closer to danger. Realizing that the man shifted mental gears almost too quickly. The man pulled from his back pocket was, of all things, a gun. Uh-oh. Of course I'm a police officer. It's not like I don't know what a gun is. But, you know, those are rare. Maybe this is what Rika meant, actually, that he was supposed to die here. But something happens? Who knows? According to the script, he's supposed to die here. But having one pointed at me was something I'd never experienced before. Was it real? Of course it was. There's no way it would be a replica in a situation like this. You villain. I was trying to say it's raining pretty hard too. As long as he still held on to that gun, no matter how much I yelled at him, I was at a distinct disadvantage. But I still had a fighting chance. If I were in his shoes, instead of wasting time yelling at each other like this, I would just shoot him and take the boy. That was the fastest and would suppress any sort of further resistance from him. But that man was demanding my surrender without having fired a shot, meaning that he either didn't want to shoot or couldn't. In other words, the man in front of me was soft. If I could just buy even a little more time, the factors would lead me to my victory were numerous. I believe this was also the guy who who was more like caring for the boy about his potential injury than the other guy. Oishi was probably on his way, and reinforcements we called before coming here should be well on their way too. Not only that, they should have contacted the local police bots. Without a doubt, somebody stationed in the village would be here much quicker than that. Oh, sorry. And I just choked on my water. The testing out ways to gulp my water. This was definitely a failure. Alright. Hopefully this works, but I'm pretty sure you're gonna get shot. I think he's gonna get shot, but he's gonna live, because we know he lives, at least. Or the worst is gonna happen and the other guy's gonna come from behind. At that moment, I hear the rustling of foliage and heavy footsteps approaching. It's gonna be the guy, huh? You're doomed. If Oishi was coming here, it was a whole new ballgame. The man couldn't have had more than one gun. I had thought that time was on my side, but I had failed to even imagine that the enemy could also have had reinforcements. You could tell that the man who just appeared was one of the perpetrators just by looking at him. The boy, sensitive to the impending danger, curled up behind my back. How could this be? Damn it. As I backed up against a large tree while still protecting the boy, the second man also pulled out a gun. Pain. Yo, over the shoulder. I saw that coming, but that's pretty sick. I didn't imagine that happening. I was imagining that happening in like in my head. Like actually happening, you know? That was a slick play. I like it. Immediately shoot the gun. It's what I like to see. Though I'm not on these guys' side, but I like to see that in general. I always thought that was pretty cool in stories. As I shouted in protest, blood erupted from my left shoulder. It took a few moments to register that I had been shot. Compared to the ones from in movies and TV dramas, the first actual gunshot I heard was simple and mundane. In fact, the sound was more akin to the small fireworks I used to buy from the corner store as a kid. But there was no comparing the pain. It was a fear you knew only after you've been shot. The boy, in his confusion, tugged at my clothes, agitating the wound even further. I wanted to put on a bold face and reassure him, but my voice was hoarse and had the opposite effect.
大丈夫。すでに応援は要請してあるんだ。すぐに警官隊が駆けつけてくれる。
警官が来る前に、お前ん額にもっぱつくれちゃる方が早いんだ。
Put it through your head. I was having trouble with that one. I see.
無駄な殺生すなっちゅう本家に言われとんか加減しとん。あんまりなめとんと容赦せんとよ。
Love the accent. I love how they translated it too. Really stands out. This was bad. It was very bad. The second man was a completely different beast than the first. He had no signs of indecisiveness or mercy. If this man said he'd shoot, he'd shoot. He wasn't somebody that a man like me could buy time from. I really hated to admit it, but at that moment, the image of Yuki's smiling face crossed the back of my mind. I knew what that meant. I was warning myself to not throw my life away over a matter of pride. Of course I didn't want to die here. I was just starting a new life with Yuki, and I wanted to see the face of our soon-to-be-born child. Why should I risk my life over some minister grandson's son when I was at such a critical juncture in my own life? Damn it. I need to stop rambling at myself. So what do I do now? Give up the boy and extend my own life? What a good idea. Everybody's life is precious. My own life was in danger. Nobody would blame me. Okay. So I'm starting to see Rita's message. So this is the coward decision. So I think he is going to end up giving it away. Unless... Okay, he's gonna end up giving it away, and maybe this is what he's gonna regret in the future. Or the alternative is he's gonna realize this is what Rita was talking about, and he's gonna do the opposite and actually not be a coward and give him away. Not saying that it's the wrong decision to give him away, obviously. Like, yeah, especially since his life is in danger, but that's just what I think Rita meant. God damn it. It hurts. If I had known it would be this painful, I wouldn't have played the tough guy. My biggest miscalculation, though, was the sound of the gunshot was far quieter than I had imagined. If it was only that loud, it would be drowned out by the rain in the forest. It wasn't something that somebody far away could hear. Yo, I hate it. You know what I hate even more? Yo, we're gonna save it for next episode. I'm sure you hate me for this. But it's an hour. I feel like the quality of my voice is going down. Yo, that's what we do. We're treating this like real episodes and leaving you on a real tight cliffhanger. And I'm guessing we're gonna have to go back and see both of them. Though I am gonna choose to watch for an opportunity. Just a spoiler. But yeah, I mean, see you next week. I'm sorry to leave you hanging, but we're running out of time. So Thank you for watching. This has been a fun episode with some fights, some shooting, and we'll see what happens. Watching for an opportunity might actually also be a bad end, since I think we're supposed to be a coward according to Rito. So, hey, will Akasaka survive or will he die? It's probably gonna be both, anyways. But I don't know. Are we supposed? I mean. Well, whatever, we'll leave it for next week. See you Monday, bye. Thanks for watching as always. Leaving on a tight note. Forgive me.